On tonight's show, we have film director and creator Brandon Holland.
And now for your host, KoolKard.
Welcome back to the Kickin It with KoolKard show, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is election night, and we're gonna we're not gonna do any of those politics. We're not doing none of that. I got all TVs turned off. I don't even want to know right now. All right, so, but I hope you did get out and vote, regardless of who you vote for. I hope you did go out there and voice your opinion and, vote for somebody. Do that. It's a privilege, so go vote. Anyway, tonight we're still kicking it though. I got a guest in the house on election night. We are kicking it, okay? All that going on outside, we don't even know what's going on outside, but we know what's going on in here. We're kicking it. Every Tuesday night, you know where I'm at, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, kicking it with someone cool. And tonight, I am kicking it with Brandon Holland. He is a film director. He is a creator. He's a podcaster. He's a renaissance man. Let's just say that. The brother is doing his thing. He has a book out. So we're going to talk all things entertainment, all things Brandon Holland. You know I like to personalize these interviews, humanize it, get to know the person, all right? We know he's a film director. We know he's a creator, but we want to know the man. We want to know how he got to where he is right now and where he's going, his desires, his dreams, all that. We want to know all that because we want to just dig those jewels out of him and that value that you guys can take, put in your tool belt, go out into the world and be great. That is the premise of this show. And that's why I'm here, to serve you guys, man. I do this for you, and I cannot do it without you. I say that all the time, and I mean it. I mean it. But tonight, it's just like any other night. But it's not just like any other night because everybody has their own story to tell. But we got somebody to kick it with. Brandon Holland, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it, man. I can't wait. Let's go, y'all. We kick it. Brandon, welcome to the show, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, I appreciate you joining me on election night. I mean, some people probably been like, nah, I can't. It's election night, this, and that, the third. But I appreciate you lending your time, man. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're right here kicking it with your boy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, today has been interesting, to say the least, but thank you.
Yeah, it has been. Bomb threats at the polling stations and all types. Boy, for money and power, they'll do whatever, won't they? But that's another conversation.
I'm kind of nervous about how this is going to end up, but we'll just go. We'll hope for the best.
At the end of the day, brother, I believe in God, so God is king. So all that, I don't really care. Whatever, whoever gets it, man, it is what it is, right? I did my part. I did vote. I'll say that, but after that, it's out of my hands, right?
I agree.
Out of my hands. Hey, I did forget to mention, I like to mention this before the show, but I just mentioned, and I'm a God-fearing man, before each conversation, I like to pray live on air. Are you okay with that?
I'm perfectly fine with that, yes.
Now, here's a twist, though, my brother. Here's a twist. When's the last time you prayed?
This morning, a few minutes ago.
Good, because I want you to lead the prayer. How about that? Okay. I normally lead the prayer, but if you're comfortable, I would like to offer that to you to lead the prayer, brother. It don't have to be long. You don't even have to know what to say. Just pray.
Okay.
You good with that?
I'm fine with that.
Let's go.
That was very unexpected, but sure, I'm fine with that.
Let's go. Let's get it. I'm praying up. Let's go.
Okay. First of all, God, we say thank you. We appreciate this opportunity for two brothers to connect on a positive note, and we thank you for the opportunity to share positive things and all the things that you are doing for us and through us. And God, we know that this election is in your hand. The world is in your hand. We trust you. We thank you. We appreciate you. We thank you for having a great show tonight. Thank you for blessing my brother. Thank you for him giving opportunities to other people like myself. We pray that you continue to let this show grow leaps and bounds. And we just thank you for the many blessings that are coming to us. God bless your people. We love you. We appreciate you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen, brother. Amen. See, didn't that feel good?
Yeah.
Man,
Now that's the first time, but I appreciate that. I'm a praying man. I can pray now. That's easy.
yes.
I didn't expect to do it here today, but I'm fine with it.
Yes. Listen, that's my new thing. I'm about to put people on the spot, man, because you know what it's gonna do. And people don't have to do it. I'm not gonna force anybody to do anything they don't want to do. But you know what it's gonna do? There's gonna be some people that's gonna be like, you know what? I haven't prayed in a while. And it's going to bring something out of them. As long as they're willing to do it. It's going to bring something out of them. As long as they believe in God, right? As long as they know God, but they haven't prayed in a while, it's going to do something to them. So I'm going to start doing that. Start putting people on the spot. Yeah.
That's good. I love it.
Yeah. I think that'd be good.
Like, above all of my titles, I'm a church boy. So that's right about it.
Facts. That's how I grew up. Baptist, man. Yep. Yeah, and you're from Alabama, so I already know you in the Bible Belt, brother.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. All right, cool, man. I appreciate you for doing that. I really do. Thank you.
No problem.
So listen, I brought you on the show. You're a film director, man. You got like over 25 films out. We're going to talk about all that. I know you got 2 films premiering this month, so that has to be an exciting moment for you. I seen you promoting it to the, building it up, man. So, yes, brother, congratulations to you on that.
Thank you.
We're definitely going to dive into some stuff that you've done before. But you heard me in the intro, brother. I like to humanize the conversation. I want to get to know Brandon Holland. Let me know a little bit. So I don't ask personal questions, but I did read your bio and I did see that you lost both your parents. My condolences. And that did something to you. And it catapulted you in a trajectory, to where you are now. Can you talk a little bit about, just your upbringing and how you got to that point where you wanted to jump into theater, losing your family and all that? If you care to. I don't want to force anything on you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm open. I appreciate it. So, God, where do I start? I'll just say that. So yeah, I did lose my parents. My mom passed when I was a sophomore in college, and my dad died a year and a half after her. And as a teenager, I've just always had to make like adult decisions, and I've kind of been on my own, independent since I was maybe 18, 19 years old, and it has been a challenge. It would not be easy. I'm 40 now, but it has been a challenge. And I got into it. There's like, we've just always been taught to just kind of make lemonade with lemons type, if you will. Mm-hmm. So just like, even though I went through like those rough stages, I had to tap into my creativity. So I got into theater and writing and creating from my mom. So I grew up in church. Mm-hmm. And my mom was a writer, and she used to do skits, and so we used to put on skits and plays, and so I grew up being an actor. So I always thought I was going to do entertainment from the acting side, but I was just always curious about the writing, and so I would do my own little short writings and things like that, but I never had any idea that it would be to where I am now. It was just for fun. I didn't know much about it. My mom only did it as a hobby. It was something that she enjoyed.
Okay.
And so it's something that I inherited. I learned from my mom. When my mom died, I took one of her skits, and I was like, she didn't have a manual. She didn't have a manuscript or anything. So I remembered the play pretty distinctly. So I was like, I'm going to rewrite the play that my mom did. So I started writing with my very first skit. It's called I Got to Tell It. No, I'm sorry. It's called What You're Looking For. It was my mom's skit. And we started doing that skit multiple times in the city of Huntsville, where I went to Alabama A&M University, but I went to a church there. And so they asked me to do something for youth. And so I was like, I'm going to do this skit that my mom wrote. And so the crowd was so receptive. And then so we made it a thing. So let's just do skits every few months. Cool. And so it went from that to the church. was our main venue because our pastor was so supportive. It was like building the youth and things like that. And then one day I said, I wonder if I can do this outside of church. And so I started off doing theater and stage plays, writing and directing those. My first play sold out. It was an amazing experience, but that's how I started. And that was around 2009. I did plays for years. And I just kind of used like some of the tragedy and the things that were happening to create these stories and create ideas and kind of deal with some pain and past hurt and and even though my parents passed, there was so many other things that happened, right? Like in life that happened to any human being. So it was just me like kind of finding my way out of a dark place, and it went from that to I did that for years. I did a lot of I wrote a lot of stage plays, and of course they're not as how you do films, you have like IMDb and things that you can
Yeah.
actually, so the plays are not as documented as some of the film works, but I probably did maybe 10 or more stage plays as well. So that's how I got started, and that's how I kind of used that tragedy to create this lane for myself.
Well, I listen. First and foremost, I love it because you honored your mother first and foremost with doing that. Secondly, there's some children right now, probably grown at this point, but there's some people right now that are probably still acting because you sowed that seed into their spirit. And you know what I mean? By doing those skits. That's the beauty of it. I bet you
Yeah.
right now there's several people that are still acting because of the impression that you made on them with your mother's skit turned into a stage play. And just doing those skits, every couple of weeks, like you said, that's just the beauty of like creativity, the beauty of inspiring other people. You know what I mean? And you probably don't even know it, but somebody's acting right now, and they're probably right here in Atlanta. They probably follow behind you. You don't even know they're here acting because of you, though. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, yeah, that's beautiful.
And I believe that, and that's, to me, that's what's been my life goal and my life journey. I'm not a person. I don't look for pity. I don't need your sorries. I don't need any of that. Right?
Yeah,
It's what you said. Find a way to um, use tragedy or use any inspiration to become the best version of yourself. And that's always been my goal and been my plan. So that would make me extremely happy. So I would love to know that. So if anybody is watching and that's you and that's true, please let me know. I would love to know that.
yeah, man. I guarantee you, somebody, at least one, you probably stirred up something in some kid, man, who didn't even know that they enjoyed it, and then it's like, oh my God, this is so fun. I love it. And once you get bitten by that bug, you can't shake it. So
Yeah,
somebody
I
out there.
agree.
Yeah. Did you ever act in any of them though? Because I know you said you kind of strayed away from the acting after a while, but did you ever act in any?
I did unwillingly, and I say that because it, so like when you're doing theater, like sometimes like if people don't show up, it's not like film. If they
Yeah.
show up, you have to fill in. So there have been times where people will call me the day of the show or the day before the show and be like, I can't do it, I can't come, I
Oh,
have an emergency. And because I wrote the script, I literally had to jump in on more than one occasion and actually like play a role against my will. But I did it. So yes, I have done that side of it before. And
nice.
and at first I started off that way, and I really loved it because I love to be silly. I love to just talk a lot of junk, have a good time, and that can be very entertaining according to my friends and peers. So so I started off doing that. So I'm surprised that I never wanted to take that path. I never wanted to be in front of the camera. Really,
Hey,
I
what
am now, but we
you
can get
are
into that
now?
later. But I haven't been before.
Okay, got you. So, but I mean, hey, what's for you is for you. So, what do you feel most comfortable doing though? Do you like just being in that creative state, creating the world that other people are gonna play in, or like what do you feel best at?
So I think that I mean, if I'm just being really transparent, I had a problem with being concerned about what people would think of me
Mm,
before, so I didn't want to be in the spotlight. I didn't think that I could deal with like the ridicule that comes with being criticized from people,
yeah,
from putting yourself out publicly. Of
yeah,
course, I'm dealing with that now, but that's why I never did it. I felt like I could have done it and been great in it. But at this stage, I am open. And it's like the older you get, you just kind of want to maximize every talent that you
Yeah.
have. So I just acted in a series. I played a podcaster in a vampire. I played a vampire actually in a series
Oh,
called
okay.
Honor that is produced by Omega Keys. And then I did a film last year where I acted. I played a paralegal in a film. So that was my first main role in a film, independent. So I've been coming from behind the camera, but my most comfortable place is definitely creating and developing ideas and directing.
Okay.
But I have
I
been
was
exploring.
gonna say this too. You know, you said you're 40. You know, once you crack that 40, you just stop giving a damn anyway about what people think. Honestly,
Yeah,
you know what I
it
mean? You
starts
really
around
do.
35 for sure. But yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. I really don't care now.
yeah, yeah. I think when I hit about 30, I really didn't give a damn. I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. I am who I am. You know, take me as I
Yeah.
am. I'm not trying to please nobody. You know, and that's what it is. So yeah. So what brought you to Atlanta though? Did you come out here when the movie scene started popping off, or
I came to Atlanta because I went through a breakup.
okay, okay,
um,
heard that before. Heard that before.
I'm just being honest. And what happened was is I was doing a dinner and theater for my family reunion, which has been like our new family tradition, which I love.
Okay.
I do dinner and theater for my family reunion, and so I ran into my cousin at the family reunion. They said, well, we heard you was going through, like a split up or whatever, and our house is open to you. So if you want to come to Atlanta and just start your life over, come to Atlanta. So I did. 26 years old. I sold everything in my apartment in Huntsville, Alabama. I packed
Mm-hmm.
up. I moved to Atlanta. I always kind of had Atlanta on my radar. It wasn't for film though, because I didn't even know I was gonna get into film. I came to Atlanta to because I heard that teachers make a lot of money here. I'm an educator.
Yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right.
Yeah,
20 years in, right? You got a
yeah, I'm
master's, you got a
20
BA.
years. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I came here because teachers make more money in Georgia. That's why I came.
Okay, okay.
Plus, I knew that I knew that they had, like film and theater here. But again, when I first moved here, I didn't know anything about film. I literally just came here to be a teacher and to make more money and to start my life over. That's the only reason why I came here. And I came here and really found my purpose. So it was just destined for me to be here. And it was the cousin that I ran into. I'm very grateful for her and her husband. They welcomed me into their home. Mind you, I haven't talked to them in years. We didn't have a close relationship or anything. So it was just like a God thing. It just kind of worked out.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've been here 11 years now.
Wow. So they were the catalyst, but then after you kind of like got your own feet, got your own roots, you guys just
Yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
they just served the purpose, right? God put them in
yeah,
your life to facilitate the move. Oh, that's
yeah.
cool. So how did you get into the film industry out here? Did you meet people? They say, hey, we need a writer, or did you say, you know what, I'm gonna start doing these plays again, or what? How did you get into it?
When I first started, that's what I did. I was like, maybe I should do a play here to introduce myself to the city. And I was going to, I'm a member at the Dream Center Church, and they have a very strong theater department there when I used to go regularly. And I met some actors there. And so I started picking up my first production. I did a production in Alabama, but I cast most of the cast members here. So I had cast members from Alabama and Georgia. And so I was like, I gotta get started again. So I did a dinner at theater for Christmas my first year here or second year here. And one of the actors, she was attending college at Georgia State, and she said, there's a producer at my school. He said, no, she said, there's a producer that my friend at my school is looking for a black writer who wants somebody to do films with. And they want to work with you and start you with a distribution deal on your first movie. I was like, what? So it just happened.
Wow.
That's why it was a friend who referred me into it. It was around 2015. And I was like, okay. I was like, I don't think I've ever written this church plays. I was like, but I've kind of gotten into film a little bit. I have this idea that I wrote, but I don't have a script. I said, but I can write it. And so that's how I got started. My partner who I work with still to this day, he gave me my first opportunity. My first movie was 21 Day. And I was I don't know. I was walking in the lane that I didn't know anything about, but I was open to it. And it's funny. I always tell the story. I went on to set. My scripts weren't properly formatted. I didn't know anything about. Again, it was just a hobby for church, right? So I
Right.
never knew that this is gonna be like a career. So I didn't know anything. So going into it, he was the producer. He was very supportive. He knew that I didn't have the experience. He said, and he would tell the DP who is like Emmy nominated. He
Uh-huh.
was like, he doesn't have the experience that we have. He said, but he has a very clear vision, and that's something that I always say. I just had a very clear. I know what I want. I know
Yeah.
what it's supposed to look like, and I know what it's supposed to be, and that's how I got started. And they let me come in and be myself, and of course I've grown and learned a lot over time. But coming in,
Yeah.
I was just kind of clueless, and I think they love that innocence about me because now when they work with me, it's different.
But that man, I'm telling you, that is like 75%. You are 75% ahead of people, right? Because you just did it. You didn't know what you were doing, but you did it, and that's what matters. Just doing it. You're gonna learn. You're gonna grow as you go. You know what I mean? You're gonna grow as
That's
you
true.
go. You don't have to have it all figured out, but they saw something in you. They saw that you had that vision because you had been in the gym anyway, doing those plays, doing those skits. You were prepping yourself. You were working out. You were in the gym, and then when that opportunity presented itself, you were ready
I was
because
ready.
they needed your vision. They could pick up the pieces of all the stuff that you was dropping on the other things, right? But they needed your vision. There was a place for your vision. There was space for your vision. Man, ain't nobody but God. That's
Yeah, I agree 100%.
nobody
Yeah,
but
I
God.
literally just walked into it. I tell people I was just blessed. It's very rare that you hear of somebody starting in the film industry with distribution and, do the things that I was able to accomplish in my first year. My first film was in Walmart and Target and Barnes and Nobles, like all the mainstream stores and on network. I was just like, I don't know what I did or how I even got here. It's literally just happened like overnight. It was overnight, honestly.
Just
That's
God,
what it felt
brother.
like.
Nobody but God. Just guiding them
But
steps.
I
Just guiding
agree.
them steps for an opportunity like that, and you're just starting out. Yeah, it ain't nobody but God, brother. Absolutely. Are all your films all your films on Tubi and stuff like that? Can we see all those on Tubi?
Uh-huh. Um, so most of my films are on Tubi, between Tubi, Amazon Prime, Falsum, Pluto. They're all different places.
Okay.
Some Xfinity, YouTube, Google Play. So it just kind of depends on where there is a need. They put the films in different locations, but most of them are on Tubi for sure.
Okay.
And Prime, Amazon Prime.
Okay. Now we got Carpool. I got the trailer for that. So tell us a little bit about Carpool. When did you put this one out? Give us the rundown.
Okay. Um, I want to say that we put out Carpool last year. And it came out around the summer, maybe around August, and it was a it was a great opportunity to work with that group of people. It was Dara Chambers and Ty Cruz and Janae Black. And Janae came on like 2 days before the film started. We had to recast the girl like right before we started filming. And it was a really dope story. It was actually Robert came up with the idea to do a car movie. Robert is one of my business partners, and Justin Coleman, he's the writer. He actually wrote the script,
Okay.
and so I directed it. So it was a fun project to put together. I don't know if you ever try to put an independent film together in a car about 85% of the movie. So it was very interesting, but it was fun. It was fun. They
But
did,
it worked though. I started watching
yeah,
some today. I didn't finish it, but I started watching. It works.
yeah,
It
no, it
definitely
worked
works.
out.
It keeps you engaged. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good. So it was pretty exciting. So that was one of the last projects that we did. It came out around the same time that I did one other project. That was fun.
Oh wow! So real quick, how in the world do three strangers decide to carpool on a road trip? Can you just tell me a little bit about that?
Okay, so So apparently this is a common thing. The writer Justin, he was the one who said, I actually did that before. He was telling me, like, he's like, this is kind of based on a true story. He said what
What?
happened was that the flights were delayed, and then somebody was getting a rent a car, and everybody was, I think some of the people who were waiting to board the plane as well were interested in just carpool, and I was like, can we catch a ride and we'll put in on the car, and they got in the car together and got to
Oh,
start. So
wow.
that part is like kind of true.
You
It
know
was
what
kind of based
though?
on. It
That's
was kind of
probably
based on
not
a real story.
uncommon. To be honest with you, that's probably not uncommon, especially when like
Yeah.
when Delta went down. I bet you some people carpool.
And I think the only time that I ever really seen it, and this is my favorite movie, I watched Home Alone 2 like a million times during every Christmas. When mom had, she was trying to get back home to her
Yep.
son, and she got on the back of the truck with like the musicians and shit.
Yep.
So anyway, that's what made me think of it. I was just like, okay, I can see this happening because I saw it happen on Home Alone. But
Yeah. Yeah. Now that I think about it,
that's
it's probably not that uncommon. It probably really isn't. Because I know
I
if I
think
was trying to get somewhere and I couldn't wait and they're talking about delayed, like when Delta went down, people were like, my cousin was delayed for 3 days. They had to put him up in a hotel for 3 days. So I could see somebody be like, you know what? Y'all get in the car, let me hop in.
yeah, I'm gone. I'm out of here.
Facts. Because I was definitely about to rent a car because we was coming from a trip. I think it was coming off of a cruise or something. My flight wasn't delayed. But actually, it was delayed for like 6 hours, but they were delayed for 3 days. And I was like, man, if they tell us they're going to delay us till the morning, we're going to the rental car terminal and we hopping in and we riding. Nah, I'm not sitting here.
I slept in the airport once. I pray that I never do that again. That was the worst day of my life.
Yep.
I had a toothache, and it was an airport. And mind you, that the airport temperature is like 0 degrees at night. It was the worst. I would never forget that for the rest of my life. I was in Vegas, I think.
Yeah. Wow. I think was it Vegas? I think I slept in the airport at Vegas too.
I feel like everybody gets stuck in Vegas. I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was on my way to I think I wasn't even going far. I think I was only going to Arizona. I think I was only going to like Phoenix, but I think it was Las Vegas, and I slept in the airport.
I can believe that.
Yeah,
I can believe that.
On a bench.
Dang.
On a metal bench at that. Like
I never do standby and never do spirit because I think I've got stuck twice in life. I think I got stuck in LA once.
Hell no.
Never do standby. Buddy pass is bull, and
yeah.
The other one I did is spirit. So yeah.
Standby. That was in the 20s, man. Can't do no goddamn standby now.
And I've never done it before, so I don't know what made me do that, but I never will again.
Shit.
That was in my
the price made you do it. The price, shoot, the way these tickets are now, the price will make you go standby. Yeah. Make you go spirit.
If I can't afford to pay for the round trip, it's a no. I won't.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Can't do no spirit. Can't do no standby. I don't trust no spirit. Hey. Let's talk about Dirty Old Cars, right? That's the name of the show you worked on. Tell us a little bit about that. So you actually worked on, it was on the History Channel, right?
Yeah.
What'd you do there?
So I worked as a production assistant for the History Channel on Dirty Old Cars. It wasn't last year, so I think it was 22 or 23. 22. It was 22. Fall of 22, and it came out the spring of last year. So that was like super fun. I have not really ever been into cars like that, but of course doing the show, it was very, very interesting to see. They would bring in all these the antique type cars, and they would clean them up, and cars would be sitting, and they would find all kinds of animals and rodents and all kinds of stuff inside of the cars. So it was very, very fun. And that was one of the best crews that I worked on. I really, really enjoyed working on the show. I also had the opportunity to assist with casting for that show. So I got a couple of friends on the show. So that was fun, and that was great. So that was like cool. I really enjoyed that. And and this just goes to show how social media can work for you, because I know people would paint social media as negative. I got that job from social media. There is a DP that I've been following for years, James, And he's just always been like really, really dope. And I was just like, I'm gonna work with him one day. And one day he posted that he had a job, and I was like, that's mine, that's for me. And so they hired me to come and work on the show. So that was my first time working on the actual network, I think. And that was really dope. I'm just excited about that.
And they filmed that here in Atlanta?
It was filmed in Atlanta and Marietta and
Oh,
Kennesaw.
wow. Okay. Yeah, that's dope, man.
So shout out to Reds. The body shop is still there. It's Reds. So shout out to
Okay.
my boy with Noxie.
Wow. How long the show run?
They only did one season, from my understanding. I don't know if they plan to come back, but it's only been one season so far.
Okay. Got you. Now, let's talk about your book before we get into your new films, because we're gonna talk about the premiere and everything. Your book. Living, what is it called? Hold on. I got it. Don't let me fall. Your book. Got it. It is, oh, I had it. I ain't gonna mess it up. Living with half a heart. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Living with half a heart. Let me quit this thing up here. Hold on. Let me grab it. I got it. Hold on. Here we go. Bam, there we go. Let's talk about this book. When did you write this book? Was this earlier on or is this recent?
So I wrote it right before the pandemic.
Okay.
And I had been just kind of contemplating the idea for a while, but I never moved forward with it. I wrote it right before the pandemic, and I released it during the pandemic. No. I'm sorry. I released it right before the pandemic. I did a small book tour. I started a book tour around. The book came out November before the pandemic. That November it came out to Black Friday. And then I did a small book tour in Huntsville, in my hometown, and I did Atlanta, and I was going to do a couple of more cities. That was around January, February. I was doing one a month, and then when March came, that's when the pandemic hit. So I ended up stopping the promo tour for the book. But Living with Half a Heart is me talking about how death takes a part of you, and how losing my parents took a part of me. And it's when somebody dies, it's something. Everything about you change. When people say I'm not the same, people are not the same. When
Right.
people die, that's very much so a thing. Losing your mother at 18, and then lose your father at 19, back to back, it does something to you. A piece of me left, and so what I had to do was learn how to live with a part of me gone. And so I called the book Living with Half a Heart for that reason, because I felt like a part of my heart left with their passing. But the book is also a inspirational book, and I talk about how even though things had been extremely hard, that I really just had this desire to make it, and that I wanted people to just look at my story and think that they could make it. And that's just always been my testimony. That's always been my story. That you can make it through anything that you want to make it through.
Right.
It's really all up to you. And even when the really, really hard things happen, when life happens, you still got to go on.
You still got to keep living.
And decide that you want to live happy. You want to live in peace. You still want to check off your goals. You want to accomplish so many things. And so my journey of living with half a heart, I didn't get to feel sorry for myself. It didn't matter how old I was, at 19,
Right.
Okay, I got to finish college. I got to get a second job. I have to pay for my own, I've already was taking care of myself, but, I had to get an extra job and do whatever it is to take to survive.
Yeah.
And I never depended on my family. My family can hardly say very little that they actually done for me financially or physically after my parents died, because my parents had taught my brother and I to be very self-sufficient.
Yeah.
My brother has a book as well. It's called Hurt by My Destiny.
Okay.
And so, my brother also has his PhD. We're both educators. We both have bachelor's and master's degree. I'm older than he is. And so, it's just all about, what you do with, what you do with life after things happen to you that are so tragic. And that's what the book is about. And it's just like, we can make it, y'all, if you want to. You have to want to.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to want to. You got to pick yourself up. Man, for me, I just feel like regardless of what happens, as long as you got God, man, as long as you're rooted in God, as long as you know that he's real, as long as you got that hope, you can go on.
Facts.
You can go on, man. You really can. You can go on. It's not gonna be the same. It's not gonna
No.
be easy. There is gonna be a void, especially when it's death. It's gonna be a void. I lost my mother when I was 9 years old, brother. So
Oh, wow.
I understand. You know what I'm saying? I understand. Uh, so there's a void, and it's never the same. And time doesn't heal it.
No.
Time doesn't heal it. You just learn to cope with it. You learn
Yeah.
to cope, but time doesn't heal it. Nah, man. How?
And that, yeah, and that's kind of what I try to highlight in the book, that you just learn to live with it, and and you keep
And
going.
you keep living as they would want you to. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
as they would
Yeah.
want you to. They don't want you to just roll over and die. Like, you know what I mean? Why would they want that for their child? Why would they want you to, meet your demise because they left? You know,
Agree.
and they might have left too soon, right? But they lived their life, and now they want the best for you. And I'm pretty sure
Fact.
that's all they ever wanted, just raising you. So you just gotta do what they would want of you, and just know that they're there with you. And you don't have to. I don't know everybody's fate, but as long as you know that there's a spiritual aspect to this life that we're living, there's a soul, man, that says enough, right? That says enough. You don't
I
have to
agree.
believe in God to know that there's a spirit, there's a soul. You better know that you have a soul. You better know that there's a spirit, there's some type of Holy Spirit, there's something. There's some
I
type of energy that's moving everything, that's making everything move, making everything connect. Something, you know. I don't want to get too deep into that, but you get it. I know you
I'm with,
get it.
and I definitely highlight my relationship with God being able to get me through many days, and not just during those hard times, every day.
Yeah,
When I said I was praying earlier, I wasn't joking. I was serious. It was
absolutely.
I was a little kid with leukemia on CV, and I just said a quick prayer for him. Or it's the election. I'm like, Lord, whatever your will is, let that be done, because
Yep.
I just want to be in that, right? And so I live in that space, regardless of whatever I do, you know,
Yeah.
but I'm not supposed to do it, whatever, right? But I know that I said my relationship with God is what has gotten me through every single day, and that is how I got through those tough times, and I definitely highlight that in my book as well. It's just like, listen, without God, I know I'm nothing. I know without praying and having a relationship with Him, I wouldn't be able to forgive. I wouldn't be able to
Yes.
heal, and I wouldn't be able to be the light that I try to be to other people. Because when people meet me, man, I'm just so silly, and and people who know me from like a work environment, they would think that I'm like really serious. But people who know me personally, know I'm like, I'm silly, I'm
Yep.
fun, I find joy in everything I have to. Because life has just not been easy, and I'm not gonna act like it has. It hasn't. It's been
Yeah.
very hard. So I just look for ways to have joy in everything, and so I'm thankful. Like again, I don't have a sad story to tell. My story is sad, but I don't have a sad story to tell.
Yeah. Hey, brother, facts. I'm with you 100%. When people meet me, they're like, man, why you always smiling? Why you smiling? What's funny? I'm like, ain't nothing funny. I'm just smiling. I'm happy. I'm joyful.
Yeah,
And I hope that I can, expel that on you, right? To put some of this joy in your life. If you got something going on, man, just like smile. A smile can change your whole mentality, can change your whole vibe, everything. You know what I mean? It really
yeah.
can. Just
I agree.
smile about it. Because what else can you do? You can't complain. Nobody's going to listen. Yeah, woe is me. What you going to do? Now you're taking two steps back. You're caving in. You're depressed. You start spiraling. No, man. Smile about it. Laugh it off. Know God got it. And just keep pushing through it at the end of the day. Because it's just life. Life's going to happen regardless.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure
Life is
is.
going to happen. Man,
Sure.
telling you, man. And life is gonna happen, brother. Life is gonna happen. I was talking about the other day. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, I know what happened. I had someone who had to cancel, so I just played a replay of a girl named Shylon. I think it's Shylon. Yeah, Shylon. She's a singer, right? And she's going through some health issues. And I was just saying, like, you don't know problems and issues until you start having health issues. You know, you
Facts.
start battling with your health, man. That's a whole different beast. Nothing else matters then. Nothing, because you can't do anything without your health. So what's the real problem, right? The health now. So all that other stuff you were worried about, what were you really worried about?
Yep. And your mental health. I agree
Right.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You got to stay intact. Podcaster. You are a podcaster. You got a podcast. Are you still podcasting?
I am between seasons on my podcast, Real
Okay.
Talk with Brandon, and I am doing a new season starting in January, so I
Hmm.
am excited about that. Um, I got really busy with film this year, so I had to just kind of take a step back to. So when I ended the season, I didn't start back immediately with the next season,
Okay.
but I did it last year and the top of this year. So I'm getting ready to start back the top of next year with with the next season with season 2.
What's it about? What's it about? What you talking about on there?
Okay, so Real Talk with Brandon is providing a platform for independent filmmakers like myself,
Okay.
independent creators in general. It's supposed to be it's film, beauty, and fashion. So I have a mixture of guests from independent creators like directors, writers, actors, etc. And then I have some beauty professionals from time to time, whether it's hair or makeup, etc. And then, of course, I have the fashion component. And that's because when I first moved to Atlanta, and a lot of people don't know this, it's a lot of, I would just say a lot of things that people don't know. So I started out singing. That's how
Okay.
I got initially into the entertainment thing. I used to travel with a gospel choir, and I used to sing, and I used to lead worship. I used to be a worship leader.
Okay.
So I started out singing. That's how I got into the theater and film work. Kind of combined the two, the singing, the theater
Yeah.
thing, and then so I got when I first moved to Atlanta, I didn't know anybody. So to get to know people, I asked Paul Ranger. He's over a show called We Do Fashion. And he pretty much let me be like the stage manager and show coordinator for several of his fashion shows. And so that's how I met everybody initially when I first moved here. I met photographers and videographers and
Okay.
designers and models who wanted to be actors and stuff like that. So that's how I built my network. I built my network through the fashion industry here. That's how I started.
Got
And
you.
so I literally built my network from the fashion industry first. So that's why my podcast has a platform for all of three of those things because I've met a lot of people who work in those three areas of entertainment. So it's like really dope, and they don't highlight us, kind of like what you do. Give us
Yeah.
an opportunity to kind of share our stories, and but they don't give opportunities and platforms to independent creators like ourselves often on
Yeah.
larger platforms. So I've been excited to do that.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people out here, fashion stylists and beauticians and all that. Nobody really highlights them. You see them
Correct.
and they promote themselves, but nobody really highlights them. You know,
Exactly. Oh
and
yeah.
that
So I try to do that.
thriving industry.
Yeah, very much so, especially in Atlanta. So that's why I've been able to have some really great success. And had the opportunity to even talk to some people who are on the rise, like Jason Louder, who is on BMF, and Damian Flagler, and just a list of people. I don't want to name names, but a
Yeah.
list of a lot of growing artists who have done some pretty prominent things, but they've not been given the recognition that they deserve. So I
Yeah.
appreciate having the opportunity to do that. Yep.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, kudos to you for, shining a light on others too, highlighting people, giving them that platform because it matters. Every little step matters, every little.
Good.
I don't care if there's 100 views, 1,000 views, or two. It still matters. It's out there. It's something you can use as a tool to promote yourself. It matters. Your voice is being heard, all of it matters. It all counts and it all adds up. So, yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Let's talk about this big premiere you got coming up, man. You got like a dual movie premiere. You got the Junkies. You got. Tell me, brother, what is a vegan version?
Okay, so everybody just eat that title up every time. Um, so just I'm not the creative vegan version. I cast and directed the film.
Okay.
But it was the idea that was originated by Dr. Yaki and Robert Roundtree, who is one of my partners. They actually came up with the idea. The script was written by Marlon Carter. He's a writer based in Huntsville, Alabama. And they brought the script to me and asked me to help cast. They asked me to help cast and to direct it. But the vegan version is, and Dr. Yaki, the executive producer, he has a huge platform for health awareness and about being vegan, and he has a lot of options for natural healing and natural health. And so this was something that kind of we can just use a play on words as it relates to kind of promoting, like healthy living, healthy eating, that kind of thing. But vegan version is about a girl who goes through a really bad breakup, and when people go through breakups, they want to do something really drastic.
Mm-hmm.
So her drastic thing was just like, I'm going to start my life over. I'm going to become vegan. And then when she felt like that wasn't enough, she and her girl group decide that they are going to also give up sex. So they decide to become vegan virgins. So
born again,
romantic
vegan
comedy. It's a romantic comedy. It's really funny. It's starring, and of course, with the eggplant and the promotions, people will think sexual. It's not that at all. It's literally a romantic comedy. And Jeff Cuts, Jermaine Jefferson, he gonna kill me saying his name wrong. And he's the male lead, and Leslie Cherie. There is Palin Mathis, Alexis Branch, and Dorlin Morris. They are all the main leads in this project. So it was really cool to work with these ladies. A group of, a female genre, it's definitely going to be a girls' night out kind of movie. But it's really, really dope, and it's really funny. So I'm excited for people to see this one.
That's dope. And you're going to premiere both of these movies on the same night, or is 2 separate nights? So
I'm premiering the movies on 2 separate nights.
Okay.
The vegan version premiere is this Saturday at Cinevision. At 7:00 is like the red carpet. So that's Saturday. And then on Monday is the Junkies. So we're there Monday at Tara Boulevard, Tara Theater on Cheshire Bridge on Monday at 7. So I'm excited. I have 2 premieres this weekend.
That's dope. And are they going to be streaming on Tubi? Where can we stream them when you release them?
So I don't know other platforms they're going to be streaming. I know for sure that vegan version will be on Fossum and it will be on Tubi as well.
Okay.
Both of the films are scheduled to release on the 11th. So by Monday, they're both supposed to be out.
Okay.
So, and sometimes the street dates change, but they're scheduled to be released on Monday. So I'm just waiting on confirmation of that. But yeah.
Okay. Dope. So I'm definitely going to be checking for that. We know they're coming out in November. How about that? We definitely know they're coming out in November.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to check them out. I'm going to definitely finish watching Carpool. I did start that. So I'm going to make it my business. I like to support, man. And I know as a film director and filmmakers, the eyes is what you need. You need the viewership, So I try to do my part in supporting anybody that knows me for Instagram, man. If I follow you and I see you, because the algorithm don't always show us everything. Well, if I see it, I'm gonna hit the like button just to support, because I know what you're on there for, right? I know what you're on there for. And honestly, if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be on there. So if you see me posting, you know what I'm on there for. If you follow me, you know what I'm on there for, right?
Yeah. I agree 100%. Yeah.
So I'm
here. I'm here. Y'all know I'm here. Yeah.
Exactly. You know why I'm here. You know I ain't just doing this for my health.
Yeah,
so come on now. But it's all good. You don't owe me anything, so it's all love. Tell everybody where they can go and get the book, though. We didn't talk about that. Where can they get the book?
Oh, so the book is on Amazon. There's a Kindle version, hard copy on Amazon, so you guys can get it there. I self-published, so you guys can purchase the book on Amazon, and it may be on sale right now. So go ahead and get it.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go and grab that link, and I'll put it in the description down below too.
Okay, I sure will.
Absolutely. Hold on, I didn't show the art for the Junkies, man. We got to talk about the Junkies. We didn't really talk about the Junkies. Okay. Give us the rundown on the Junkies. We got the Junkies coming out. We want to know what the Junkies is about.
So I'm so excited about this one. So I did create and come up with this story myself, and it was written by Lane Ware. He and I kind of collabed on ideas to develop this story.
Okay.
Initially, the story was about, the story is about two cousins who were starting a moving company. But as they're getting ready to start that moving company, they get a call from an old friend who needs them to move something else. And so, so they go from moving junk to move to moving other stuff. And so it's a comedy. It's really funny. And Christian Davis is playing one of the leads, and Carleigh Owens. They did a great job, and Trey Pierre. They all did great. We also have a main role by Chris Ruffin. If you guys watch Ready for Love, he was just on Ready to Love last season. But it's like really, really dope. So I'm excited about that. I'm ready to see the audience response to this one, because it was really funny. It was funny. Even the editors and the writers, like everybody enjoyed it. And that doesn't happen all the time, because comedy, it can be like real sketchy.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be funny, if the jokes are gonna land. But this is like really, really dope. So I'm excited to see this. I'm excited for the cast to be able to see the film. I think they're gonna love it. I really did. I loved it. It was a really fun project to write. So I don't do comedies all the time, but I've done 2 this year. So I'm excited about that. That's a new lane that I am trying out.
Yeah,
because I think I'm funny as hell, but I don't always tap into that lane though. So I'm excited. It's good. I can't wait.
Are you in the films?
I am not.
You're not.
I directed both of them. No, I just directed. I'm not in it.
Man, you got to jump in those films, brother. Let your light shine.
It's too late at night for this, man.
Hey, listen. Let the world see who you really are when you're around your friends, man. Let your light shine, brother. You don't have to always do it. You could be like Spike Lee. Guest appearances, jump in, make them laugh, and then don't do anything for a while, and then jump in another movie. Do the Spike Lee thing. He wasn't in everything.
So I'll give you an exclusive. I think you probably want that. I'll give you an exclusive.
Give me the exclusive on the KoolKard show. Come on, let me have it.
Nobody has seen anything about this. This is the first time I have publicly actually said this. So I just wrote a series called This Guy. It's me and a group of writers. It's me and 4 young ladies writing group. And we wrote a series called This Guy. It is a LGBTQ series, but I am playing the lead.
Okay.
I'm playing the actor in the series.
Okay.
7 episodes. We already shot the pilot. We shot the pilot around August, and I am waiting for a confirmation for the first episode, but we haven't released anything yet. But so I am filming, and I am playing the lead. So I am getting all the way out of my shell. So there you have it. You heard it here first on your show.
I got it out you. I got it out you. See, there we go. I knew you had it in you, brother.
I played the lead on my first show, and it's a challenge. It's not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. I do enjoy some moments of it. I just feel I'm so used to being behind the camera. I can see everything, and I know everything is the way that I want it to look.
Yeah.
But when you're in front of the camera, you have to trust everybody to deliver that, and so that is my challenge. And I even have a problem overstepping sometimes while we're on set. I can't help it, because the thing is I know it's my vision, so I know exactly what I want it to be.
Right. Yeah.
And the team, they do a great job. It's just me. It's in me. So sometimes you'll see me frustrated more than none, because I just want them to do things a certain way. But I also remember that I have to allow them to do the things the way that they see it in their vision. So that's my only challenge. I'm super excited about that. And I may let you see the trailer off record.
Okay.
But so I'm doing it, man. I'm stepping into the new zone. So this is my third project. I was also cast for another film, but I can't think of the name of it, so I won't say. But I may be playing a supporting lead in another film too that is not mine. So so I am doing it, man. I'm doing it.
There you go, brother. Yes, yes. Thank you. Do your thing. I can see it in you, so you need to be in front of the camera too, for real. Don't cheat yourself, brother. You got more to offer. You got more to give. So
I'm give it all, man.
Give the people, like I said, give the people what they need.
Just kind of kick you in higher gear. So
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited about the next season of my life. I'm not limiting myself. I just realized that we talk about blessings and waiting on God to do things for us and different things like that. But then we tie His hands and tell Him how we want Him to do it. And so
exactly.
now I have just been practicing mentally and saying verbally that I want to be blessed however God wants me to bless me, and I'm not going to limit myself to no opportunities. So that's where I'm at.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Just go with the flow. God got it. You right where you're supposed to be. Never question that. You know what I'm saying? And just go with the flow, man. He got you.
Yep.
Self-analysis. Last question for you of the night, brother. Self-analysis. What's
Okay.
one thing that you feel that you could be doing more of or better to get you to where you're going?
Oh, that's such a loaded question. Ooh. So I'm gonna just share a moment with you. So this year, I had several meetings with almost just a slew of mainstream networks, right? And a lot of people don't know this, and I kind of shared it in my story a few weeks ago, just because I know that people are discouraged. And so I was just gonna say, so just earlier this year, I just knew that I just knew that I had it figured out, and that I was gonna have the opportunity. And so I had 6 shows that were being considered. I have 3 shows that are signed to in development right now for major networks to consider, and then I had 3 more shows that a different network was interested in buying. So I was up to sell 6 shows this year,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how my year started. So I was going meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, city after city, Miami, New Orleans, you name it, like meeting with networks, right? And here we are in November, and I don't have a deal for any of them. And so this year has discouraged me greatly, and I have felt lost and very uncertain. And so, what I feel like I can do more of is just to continue to create, even when I'm discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to do. It's even hard to talk about. I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
emotional telling you, but it's just been a year, man. So I just feel like that I can just continue to create when things get hard. And what's so crazy is on my podcast, the first thing that I ask people, and maybe it was this guy reminded me, um, at the end of every show, I ask, "What do you do to remain consistent when things are inconsistent?" And a friend or my nephew reminded me of that the other day. He said, "You know what you always ask people at the end of your show? What do you do to remain consistent when things are inconsistent?" And it's hard when you feel like like your best ideas. Somebody finally wants your best ideas, and you work so hard,
Mm-hmm.
and to feel like you're just in a pit. And so it's hard. And so I just want to continue to create, even when things get really tough. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to end like that, but
So
so that's
listen
what
here.
I want to
Listen.
continue to. I just want to tell everybody, continue to follow your dream, even when things get extremely hard. And that's it. Be true to yourself, and continue to trust God. And I
You know,
trust God completely.
listen,
I know He.
listen, listen. I gotta say this. I'm gonna cut you off. I gotta say this.
Go ahead.
And forgive me for cutting you off, but I gotta say this. So I think it'll make it easier for you if you really kind of like step outside of it, right? And just what you just said, right? Trust God. Because at the end of the day, I don't care who wins the election. I don't care who tells you no. I don't care what man says or does. God gets the glory and God has the say, right? So if you really break it down and say, you know what? I'm over here feeling away because of a decision a man made. Understand that it's another man just like you, no different from you, just put in a position and they said no. What does that really even mean? Right? You might feel like it blocked the opportunity at that time because that's the person in position. But watch how God works. That's only a man. That's another man. That's a decision that man made up in his mind. It's not telling you that your work is not good enough. That's not telling you that your work is not network worthy. That's not telling you that your work will not be on a network. That's just telling you that a man, another man, just like yourself, made a decision to say no.
True.
That means nothing. That's not the end. That means nothing. Because when God is ready for you to shine the light that you have within you, brother, that light's going to shine. I don't give a damn who says no. The light's going to shine. You don't know how it's coming. You don't know how it's going to happen. You don't know the opportunity, but it's going to be there and it's going to shine. And all you need is one yes. And he might bring that exact person at the right time into your life that's going to say, you know what? Let's go ahead and give you a shot. Again, another man making a decision, but it's all about timing. It's all about when God says so. And remember, brother, I'm going to say it again. It's another man just like you and me telling you no. That doesn't mean your shit ain't good enough. Excuse my language. That does not mean that your stuff is not network worthy. That does not mean that your stuff will not be shown on the network. That's a man making a decision. Man changes his mind every day at the flip of a dime. Right? That's a man. That's a man blocking you right now. That does not mean that you are blocked. That does not mean that, brother. We got to understand that. I even have to understand that sometimes, like, it's only man saying no. That's not God saying no. That's not God telling me that's the end of the story, that my opportunity is not there, that I'm not going to be who he says I am.
Facts. I agree.
You know what I mean?
That keeps me going. I agree.
I mean, for real, if you just look at it, break it down, bro, that's another man telling you no. That's a decision he made. That's a decision a man made. He could have been having a bad day and said, no, I don't even feel like being bothered. I don't even feel like taking this meeting. I'm going to take it, but I'm going to tell you no, because my wife just cheated on me, or we just had a dispute, or my kid didn't got high off drugs and relapsed or whatever, and they going through something and they just don't feel like it. And it's a no, because I can't exert the energy or even the thought process to tell you yes, because I just don't want to deal with it. Or maybe they're biased, or maybe they're racist, or maybe they're whatever. Who knows what it is? But it's not you. It's not you. As long as your work is quality, which it is, right? You do the work, you got good quality work. It's not you. And that's even with acting. I'm an actor, brother. I don't know if you know that. I'm an actor. You walk into the rooms, you do these auditions. If you know you put that work in and you know you have a good skill and a gift, it's not you. Maybe you were too small. Maybe you were too short. Maybe you were too dark. Maybe you were shorter than the leading lady that they want you to co-star with. It's not you. You did your part. You're doing your part. Just keep pushing, brother. Keep pushing. Don't ever let a man deter you, man. Or make you feel like you less than, or make you anything. Because God gets the last say. That's why I don't care who wins the election. God gets the last say, brother.
Every time you say that, I get jitters.
Cause, man, I can't express it enough, and I know you feel me. That's why I'm telling you. That's why I'm speaking to you so passionately about this, because I know you feel me. There's people that they may not feel me. I get that. Some people I can talk them to death, and they be like, oh, okay, all right. And you know, they're not there. They're not connected. They don't have that spiritual connection with God. They don't have that personal relationship. They don't get it. But I know you get it. So, man, pick yourself up, brother. Keep creating. Keep taking those meetings. Keep knocking down the doors. Tell you, man. Keep knocking down the doors. I mean, I'm going to be right behind you, brother, because I'm about to start shopping myself. And who knows what I get. I don't give a damn, though. I'm just going to keep doing me. I'm going to keep doing these episodes. And then I'm going to keep shopping and keep shopping and keep shopping. That's it.
Yep. That's what it is. Listen, we have to remain consistent. That's the main thing. That's my main takeaway. It's really about being consistent. It's not that I'm better than nobody. I'm just more consistent than a lot of people. I'm not a person who just talk. I'm really about action. This is my life. I tell people that, production is my life. When I'm not in the classroom, I'm doing production. I stay up all night, every night, and then go to work. And then spend all my weekends. I don't date. I don't party as much as I would like to. I do vacation every now and again,
Working.
but I'm literally working nonstop because this is my life, and I know, um, I know what I have potential to do, and so I just can't stop till I get there. That's just that.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. And that's the problem. A lot of people stop and they never get there. If you don't stop, you're gonna get somewhere in the vicinity.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I, I,
You are going to get somewhere in the vicinity. And you may get there and figure out, you know what? God didn't really have this for me. But he put me in the vicinity and now you done discover something else you like that satisfies your soul, that satisfies your creative juices, your creative cravings, right? It satisfies you. You discover something else. You fought your whole life for this, and you get there, and it's like, you know what? God didn't even have this for me, but I found this, brother. I used to do music. God took it from me. God tugging at my soul, telling me, Eric, it ain't for you. It ain't for you. It ain't for you. I fought him so long. I fought him. I fought him. I fought him. And I couldn't win the battle, brother. I had to succumb to it. I had to say, you know what, God, all right, man, do what you gonna do with me. And here I am. And I find joy in talking to you, shining a light on you, just talking it out with people, having good, genuine conversations, helping
hmm
people through things, just making discoveries as we talk through things. Like, this is my gift. This is what I love to do. And I'm gonna keep doing it. If I'm here another 10 years, never get on a network, I'm serving a purpose. You know?
Yep.
I'm serving a purpose, brother, and I'm satisfying me. My desires, doing what God wants me to do. And I really feel like throughout the course of these 5 years, I done changed some people's lives, and they've told me just off conversations, just off making discoveries, talking through things. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's what it is, man. So
Love
don't
it.
worry about what man says, brother.
Agree. I agree. 100%.
For sure. Yes. Now that we done took him to church, man. Hey, listen. I just want to say I appreciate you coming on, spending this time with me. Man, it's election night. We in here chopping it up over an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like it's beautiful. I love this. I love it. So, thank you, brother. Thank you for coming on, sharing your gifts. I'm gonna be praying for you, supporting you. Do your thing. Yeah, I pray that you have much success. You will have success because you're diligent and you're consistent, and that says a lot. Cause so many aren't consistent. They say
So
they
sure.
want something and they just don't do it.
And they want it easy. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoy it. I definitely enjoyed the show. It's different from any other show I've been on. I would say that. I'm not just saying
Pre-
it because you hear that. I'm very honest.
me too.
Love
So
it.
I appreciate that
I really enjoy doing this. I appreciate that.
for sure, man. That's what I do it for. These conversations like this, just talking through it. That's it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
Right.
thank you, brother, for real. Thank you. I can't do this show without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You don't have to be here, but you are. You know what I mean? And
I appreciate that. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, man. Hey, real quick, tell them again where they can find the book. Tell them when the shows will be out, the new movies will be out, all that, man. Promote yourself. Go.
Okay. Um, Living with Half a Heart, my first book. You guys can grab it on Amazon. I am releasing 2 films this weekend. Um, Vegan Virgin, the premiere is Saturday at 7 o'clock. You can get tickets online. You can go to my Instagram at Brandon_the director. The link is in the bio. Same with the Junkies. The premiere is Monday at the Tara Theater at 7. You can get tickets on Eventbrite, but it's also the link is in my bio at Brandon_the director. And you guys can also follow me at Molding Hearts TV. And I have 2 more films coming in the spring as well. In February, I have To Love and to Cherish, which is the part 2 of To Have and to Hold. And then I have The Cleanup, which is a Big Nino production. I directed that, but it's a Stacey Nino. She is the executive producer and lead actor of that film. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And we will be looking for talent at both of our premieres, Saturday and Monday. So if you are looking to get into a new film, we will be casting 2 movies, and there'll be a few other producers and casting directors at probably both of those events too. So make sure you guys come out, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.
There you go. Tap in, tap in, tap in. Support Brandon Holland and all that he has going on. The brother is doing his thing. Thank you, my brother, for coming on. Hey guys, thank you guys for kicking it with us. You know, we know I'm at every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, kicking it with someone cool like Brandon Holland, y'all. Until next time, we are out. Peace and love. Go vote. You can't vote anymore, but I hope you did. We out of here, y'all. Peace.